All right, let's jump right into this explainer and decode exactly how you can protect your home's hardest working equipment from the absolute extremes of central Ohio weather. We're going to look closely at what actually happens to your HVAC system when it's forced to battle the elements in Pickerington and Fairfield County, and honestly, more importantly, how you can navigate the whole repair and replacement process like a total pro. Before we even get into the nuts and bolts of your system, we really have to establish just how brutal our local climate actually is. I mean, think about the quote here. When temperatures violently swing 60 degrees in a single week, your comfort absolutely can't wait. Your heating and cooling systems aren't just humming along quietly in the background, they're fighting a daily, high-stakes battle against an environment that literally wants to break them down. To help you win that battle, we've got a clear roadmap for today. We're going to cover the extreme climate challenges we face locally, pinpoint the most common ways systems fail around here, tackle that stressful repair versus replace dilemma, and finally, look at the absolute gold standard for professional installation. Okay, moving right into our first topic, those extreme Ohio climate challenges I just mentioned. Your system is basically fighting a two-front war here. On one hand, you've got that suffocating summer humidity pushing 80%, paired with temperatures in the low 90s. That forces your AC to run nonstop just to keep things bearable, right? But then, on the flip side, winter brings the exact opposite nightmare. Temperatures plunging to single digits with sub-zero wind chills. Talk about a massive, sustained strain on your furnace or heat pump. But here's where things get really wild. 60 degrees. During the spring and fall around here, the temperature can literally swing 60 degrees in just 1 week. Think about what that does to a mechanical system. It forces your poor equipment to violently bounce back and forth between heating and cooling over just a couple of days. And honestly, it's exactly during these rapid transitions that the weak points in older equipment suddenly snap. And temperature is only half the battle. We also have to deal with the heavy clay soil found across Pickerington neighborhoods, places like Sycamore Creek or Turnberry. That soil traps a ton of moisture, breeding basement mold and creating this constantly damp environment that stresses out your gear. Worse yet, that heavy clay literally causes outdoor AC condenser pads to sink and tilt as the ground settles over time. Combine that with those freeze-thaw cycles we get in March and November, and your equipment is under constant physical assault. So what actually happens when the system breaks under all that pressure? Let's get into some of the most common local HVAC failures. It's really fascinating because the way systems fail actually depends a lot on your specific neighborhood. If you look at older 1990s builder-grade homes, like in Victory Park or Sycamore Creek, the failures are mostly just exhausted old age. We're talking 15-plus-year-old equipment suffering massive efficiency loss. But over in newer construction areas like Windmiller Ponds, the failures mostly stem from builder-grade corner cutting. We see a ton of improper installations, undersized ductwork that literally chokes the airflow, and totally incorrect refrigerant charges that cause comfort issues from day one. One massive problem caused by those bad installations is something the industry calls short cycling. Now, this happens when a contractor installs an oversized unit. You'd think bigger is better, right? Not at all. An oversized system cools the house way too fast and then shuts off before it can actually extract the moisture from the indoor air. The result? You're left feeling clammy and miserable all summer long because the humidity is still totally trapped inside. Another crazy common failure during peak heat is the frozen evaporator coil. Yep, ironically enough, your AC can literally freeze into a solid block of ice in the middle of a 90-degree summer day. This ice buildup usually means restricted airflow, often from something as simple as a dirty air filter. Or it means you've got low refrigerant from leaks in older copper lines. Either way, when that coil freezes solid, your cooling completely shuts down right when you need it the absolute most. And winter brings its own unique set of problems. You've got to watch out for yellow or flickering pilot lights, which, by the way, can signal real combustion issues and carbon monoxide risks. Listen for banging or squealing noises, check for visible rust on your heat exchangers, and notice if the furnace is constantly turning on and off. These are literal cries for help from your furnace before a crucial component like a hot surface igniter just gives up entirely and leaves you freezing in the dark. Which naturally brings us to the most stressful part. When a failure does happen, do you repair the broken unit or replace the whole thing? Well, an insider's secret that really takes the anxiety out of this choice is the 50% rule. Basically, if your quoted repair costs approach half the financial value of a brand new, modern system, replacing it is almost always your smartest move. Seriously, throwing massive amounts of cash at a dying system is just a losing game. Age dictates a lot of this too, and knowing the lifespan really sets the right expectations. At the 10-year mark, minor repairs still make a lot of sense. But once you hit that 12 to 15-year window, heat pumps really start to burn out because they've been fighting the weather year-round. Dedicated central ACs and furnaces have a slightly longer lifespan, generally maxing out around 15 to 20 years before they need a complete replacement. Beyond just the age, you've got to look at the massive technology gap. If your aging system uses that old, phased-out R22 refrigerant, fixing a leak is basically setting your money on fire because sourcing that old stuff is astronomically expensive now. Compare that to today's modern systems. We're talking 16 to 20 SEER cooling efficiency, 95 to 98 AFUE heating efficiency, and this brilliant variable speed technology that dynamically adjusts its output to match your home's exact needs. That alone can save you 30 to 40% on your energy consumption. Okay, let's wrap things up by looking at what you should expect when you actually do service or upgrade. Here is the professional installation standard. This is absolutely crucial. Never, ever accept a contractor's visual guesses or a simple rule of thumb when sizing a new system. You have to demand a proper manual J load calculation. This is a precise, professional measurement that factors in your home's exact square footage, the insulation values, the window placement, and even how the sun hits your house. It ensures your new unit is perfectly sized to your specific home's footprint, completely avoiding those clammy, short-cycling humidity problems we talked about earlier. Those precise measurements also tie directly into safety and legal compliance. A true professional is always going to pull the mandatory Fairfield County mechanical permits, which really only run about $50 to $150, just to ensure everything meets Ohio building codes for things like proper combustion venting. They will also strictly use EPA-certified technicians for handling refrigerant. Fun fact, if a contractor improperly vents refrigerant into the atmosphere, the EPA can hit them with fines up to $37,500 per violation. Sticking to proper code standards shields you from massive liabilities and keeps your family safe. Now, the local gold standard for handling all this, like we see with Grand HVAC Columbus and our source material, follows a really comforting 3-step process. Step 1, rapid contact and scheduling that respects your time. Step 2, totally transparent diagnosis with flat rate pricing, meaning you know the exact cost before a single wrench is even turned. And Step 3, rigorous post-repair system testing along with proper warranty documentation. It just takes all the guesswork and anxiety completely out of the equation. But you can actually avoid most of these headaches in the first place by simply scheduling biannual maintenance. Think of this as an armor upgrade for your entire system. Doing a spring AC check and a fall furnace check acts as the ultimate shield. By inspecting the electrical connections, measuring the refrigerant, and cleaning the coils right before the extreme weather hits, you prevent those unexpected 3 a.m. emergencies and significantly extend the life of your equipment. Which brings us to the most critical question I have for you today. Considering the heavy strain of those humid summers, the sinking clay soil, and the very real potential for a catastrophic 50% repair bill, is your home truly prepared for Ohio's next violent 60-degree weather shift? Don't wait for the AC to freeze over or the pilot light to fail. Evaluate your system's armor today and take control before the weather makes the decision for you.